Bleh.
I can't find the time sometimes to watch movies. So I'm like, how the hell do you do it? I
Yeah,
have no
late
idea.
at night. I do it late. And the thing too is they've gotten old enough. It used to be like my son was like 1 and I could watch like Takashi Miike's Yakuza Apocalypse.
Right.
Yeah, and like a guy gets decapitated and like he goes, and I'm like, yeah, isn't that great?
You don't know you're accidentally raising Dexter or something.
Yeah, like
you're
now
exposing to all this stuff.
Like now I can't. Like now we watched real quick. We watched Primal. You watching Primal?
No, I don't watch Primal.
Okay, there's a scene in Primal that's so it's a cartoon. So I let my son watch it, even though it's ultra violent.
It's awesome.
Ultra violent.
Sorry, I thought you meant some movie named Primal.
Well, Primal with Nick Cage too, but no, the show.
The show, yes, I've totally seen it.
It's just great. It's a masterpiece.
It's great. It's incredible.
I don't know if this was the right parental decision, but I let my son watch Primal with me because I just thought we would bond over it, and he loved it. We must have watched Rage of the Ape Men about 1 million times, which is one of the most gory things I've ever seen. But it's cartoons.
But it's animated, so it's like, it
okay,
matter.
But Bob, until we watched the episode The Crimson Mist in season 2.
I don't remember the names, but
okay, did you watch season 2?
Yeah, I've watched all of it.
So when they go to the village and slaughter everybody.
Oh, yeah. It's not for kids.
Yeah. So I didn't know that was going to happen to the little boy. And my son turned to me with this look of horror and shock on his face. Tears well up in his eyes. And he goes, "Shame on you for showing this to me." And I'm like, Jordan, he's like, no, he's like, Fang is a bad man. I'm like, thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, well, good. Like he's like having like a visceral reaction to
people dying. He has empathy,
like this is good. This is good.
Right.
Showing.
He's also aligning with the right. Yeah, he's aligning with the right side of the emotion,
as opposed to his dad, who's like, "Hey, watch this."
Yeah.
Like, and I'm just sitting there, like,
he's not going like,
no, like literally
human suffering.
No, I'm like literally like thinking that I'm like literally the worst dad ever. Like, just show that. But what was amazing was just the visceral reaction to this shocking. My son, who's like, children don't die. So my son, who's like trying to process. Well, but here's what's interesting. Actually, I brought that up in the conversation we were having, because what I did was I paused it and then we sat and we had a very long conversation about what he saw. We processed it together. Mm-hmm. We talked about it and we talked about history, what happens to children in history and how history is actually rather grim, yada, yada, yada. Conversations that you really don't want to have with a 7-year-old, but you do anyway. And I brought that up. I said, Anakin, your favorite character, what he did to the younglings. And he was like, no, it's not the same. And so what really hurt Jordan, what really hurt my son was that he watched his hero, Fang, do this thing that he didn't think heroes did. And it was just this incredible moment of like, almost like lost innocence.
Right.
Rite of passage into Kindertrauma that we all get when we watch something we're not supposed to see. And we had a really good, like, heart-to-heart conversation. He made me remove it from the queue. We're not allowed to watch. I had to finish the show without him. He wouldn't watch it.
He learned the difference. He learned the difference between a hero and a protagonist that day.
It's funny, Bob. I tried to explain to him the difference between a hero and a protagonist as well. And just that it was an accident. He didn't mean to do it. And he goes, he shouldn't have done it. He shouldn't have done it. He was violent. And I'm going, Jordan, how many dinosaurs do we see get ripped apart in the first season? He goes, it's different. It wasn't a little boy. And I go, wow. I was so proud of him. I was proud.
Well, yeah, because he's feeling that. That's something that's good. You want him to feel.
It was
something.
A litmus test of his character. So
you want him to feel that.
I digress. I don't know why we got
I don't know how we got there. I was crazy. I was the type of kid. I know what I'm gonna put in the space, but I was gonna say I'm the type of kid when I was young, and I saw someone eating alone at a restaurant. Like I'm with my parents, and I saw someone eating alone. I would start crying. And my parents would be like,
it was a bad thing.
Well, my parents would be like, "Why are you crying?" I was like, "That person is so lonely that I can't take it." Like I couldn't, and they're like, actually, people can eat alone without being depressed.
Yeah, it's like,
but like I understand that
nice.
as a kid, it's good when a kid shows that type of emotion. Okay.